welcome back to the Relocation Rundown. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Goofy. Oh, for those of you not watching the video, which you can always watch on YouTube, I have Goofy hat.
Anyway, I'm Aaron.
I'm Geoff.
We're the Aaron and Geoff team at Compass, your Bronx residential real estate experts.
Today we have a Disney expert to talk to us about the wonders of living with Mr. Mouse. Andrew.
Or near Mr. Mouse, because you don't want to live with a mouse.
I mean, you can. There are certain things that where you can live like in the magic.
You can live in the magic. Peter Pan comes through your window. Andrew, thanks for joining us on the pod.
Yeah, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you are in the world and your background and all that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Andrew Lin. I'm an agent with Compass here in Orange County, California. Apparently there's 3 different Orange counties, so just want to make a note of that. And 2 of those Orange counties has a Disney theme park. So Orange County, California, in real estate for about, 7 years? And before real estate, I did communications and marketing for some tech companies and for other companies that people may know about, eBay, Disney, NetApp, and a few others. But yeah, and got into real estate because I got to do a lot of cool things and meet a lot of cool people. So yeah, it's been great.
And your specialty is in these Disney managed properties, which I don't know if many people realize that you have this opportunity to buy into the magic, if you will, right? Like you can go and live on property.
Yeah, for sure. So Disney's been doing stuff in the residential real estate side of things for quite some time. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. One of the first ventures was Celebration. They created a whole town in Florida near Walt Disney World, and it turned into a lot of other projects. Golden Oak on the Walt Disney World property, where you can actually live in the magic, as I alluded to earlier. You can live on site, and also now they're starting their Story Living by Disney communities, and their first one is not too far away here in the desert and called Cotino. And it's exciting to see that come together and see how it's shaping up. So it's a really, really cool opportunity that you can't find anywhere else.
One thing that hit me as a Florida resident when I recently went to Disneyland was it felt like such a small Disney World. Disney World is so much bigger, and as someone who was raised in Florida, I'm very aware of the fact that like Disney World owns so much just raw land in Central Florida that's not even currently used. When you think about Disneyland in California, it didn't feel like there was much room for expansion and development. So as they're starting to do these projects, where are they doing?
Yeah, it's a good question. Walt Disney World's the size of San Francisco. Disneyland here is tiny, and they're running out of land to do more stuff. So they're starting to look at a lot of different areas where which has a lot more development coming up that people are looking to move to. So here it's in Palm Springs in the Coachella Valley, or adjacent to Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage. They're actually building a new community as well too, or it's been announced. I think it's in Raleigh, North Carolina as their next Story Living community. So that'll be exciting to see. So they're trying to look at different neighborhoods or areas that are attracting people and that families are looking to move to that have new development in place for these communities. So it's very cool to see them come together.
What does it mean for Disney to be managing these properties? Like in the day-to-day of a resident in one of these communities, like what does that mean?
So I think in terms of managing, what Disney's role in this is going to be doing a lot of the programming and the, I guess, resident services in a sense. So I like to think about it, the Story Living by Disney communities is sort of like a Disney country club, for example, right? Because in Palm Springs, you have a lot of like golf clubs and sports, or tennis clubs and whatnot. So I think Disney's doing their little spin on it in their community in terms of, instead of golf, they're doing like a huge lagoon where you can go paddleboarding and kayaking. There's islands that you can swim up to, private beaches. And Disney will be managing the clubhouse, which is actually themed to The Incredibles 2, the Par House, and doing programming there, as well as managing the restaurant on site and the different activities that are for the residences. And so that'll be really interesting to see. And it's going to be run by Disney cast members, managed by Disney. So I think that's where Disney comes into play with these communities and creating those special Disney magical elements for the residents.
What are the demographics of the people who tend to be like going for this type of property? Is it like Disney adults? Is it people with kids? Is it a kind of a blend of everybody?
Is it a retirement community?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so I think they're targeting a bunch of different groups with their story living community, specifically Cotino, because Cotino is located in the Palm Springs area in Coachella Valley. It does have an older demographics, and a lot of people go to Palm Springs to retire. So they do have a whole section that is dedicated to the 55 and up community. There's a section there, and then the rest of it will be multi-generational. I think a lot of Disney adults have been really intrigued by, have been attracted to Cotino because of that Disney element to it, and a lot of families as well too, just because of all the amenities and activities that will be available once everything is finished. And there's going to be a town center as well too, so there's going to be shopping and dining, entertainment. So there's a lot of things that are great for all ages and for families in particular as well too. So
their own Main Street USA.
Basically, it's going to be Cotino's version of Main Street USA.
Interesting.
Are there any like communities that are already done? I know like Celebration Florida, I guess has been done for a long time.
Yeah,
that's how long that's been done, but.
Yeah, so Celebration Florida was started off, that was basically their first like test or exploration into the residential community and market, as taking inspiration from like Main Street USA, like small town USA, where everyone knows each other, that you can go down Main Street, you'll have your movie theater, your doctor, your dentist, like everyone contained within downtown, and everyone knows each other. You have your town square where everyone gets together. So that's one of their first ventures into residential real estate. And it's been doing well, and they're continuing to expand. And actually met a few agents that specialize in Celebration and that live there as well too. And it's been really got that really small town feel, which is really nice, being close to Disney World. And then more recently, Disney's been doing Golden Oak. So Golden Oak is properties on Walt Disney World property, which is very, very unique. There's a few different neighborhoods, and they've actually even partnered with the Four Seasons residences to build a whole community that's Four Seasons residences, because there is a Four Seasons on site in Golden Oak. And then now, even more recently, they're actually in the process of building Four Seasons private residences, which are attached homes that start from $5 million, where you can take advantage of. They're all single level. You can take advantage of all the amenities on site and get that Four Seasons lifestyle and attentiveness and service and things like that.
That would be a good annual passes too.
And you actually get, living on Golden Oak, you actually get special services as well too, and even special opportunities for like early bookings to events and things like that for living on site.
That's fun.
Yeah.
What should buyers know that's unique about a purchase into a Disney managed property versus just kind of a normal purchase into a community?
Yeah, I think things to consider. Some people think like, oh my God, it's going to be like Disney everywhere. Like Mickey, like you're going to see Mickey driving down, like your home's going to be all like Disney characters and Snow White and Star Wars and Marvel.
That's kind of what I'm picturing.
Right. Yeah, because I think most people go into and they're like, oh my God, I want to see like Mickey Mouse and I want to like live in the magic and see all these characters and be immersed in Disney. But actually, it's not like that. And I think that's the biggest misconception. There's subtle references and hints to Disney everywhere throughout the communities, whether it's in Celebration or in Golden Oak or now in Cotino and their story and living communities. It's very, very subtle hints of Disney. And like you get the extra Disney touch as well too, because Disney is the one, like for Story Living by Disney, it's developed by Disney. So they're very selective in the builders that they work with, the details that go into it. So if you go into the models, you'll see for Cotino that it's very, very different than any other models that you'll go into. There's little hints of Disney in the like decor and everything, but the attention to detail is next level, and just the care and thought into it to make it very, very appealing, because it's also not at a very it's at a decent starting price range, so it does also target towards someone who does want that lifestyle and the Disney adult essentially as well too, that is particular about their lifestyle and what they're looking for. So yeah. But it's definitely very, very, they think about all the details, the amenities, and everything that comes together, making it a great place to live. So
Are
yeah.
there kind of quirks to this lifestyle that somebody should kind of prepare themselves for? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, coming from New York, I don't really interact with my neighbors a whole heck of a lot.
Right.
Am I going to have to be used to seeing my neighbors in the town square, or can you
You'll
still have your kind of isolated lifestyle?
right. And I think with a lot of
We
these,
live in a city.
you guys aren't that isolated.
We're not isolated at all. We live in an apartment building.
I'm just kind of going with a different perspective.
Yeah. I think with these communities, you will get to meet your neighbors, like whether it's with Disney or with not with a lot of these gated communities. And this is a gated community. A lot of the gated communities, you will get to meet your neighbors. There's a lot of programming for community members, so it's definitely you'll get to know them if you want to, and you'll have definitely a lot of opportunities to meet your neighbors. But you can also choose not to if you don't want to and want to be the person who wants to keep themselves and just enjoy some quiet time in the desert. So there's definitely different things like that.
What kind of risks are there in buying in a place like this? Because
Yeah.
I feel like because it feels like this is like a licensing thing with Disney. Like, what if Disney decides to just not participate with this property anymore? Like, cancel their
Yeah,
contract
I
or
think the
something?
main elements to consider is that I think more so it's any other like residential community. Disney's behind developing it, working with the builders on it. Disney's really in charge of the programming. So if Disney does decide to change their mind or whatnot, I'm sure there's going to be changes within the programming, the clubhouse activities and amenities, things like that. Because it is themed after The Incredibles. So there may be changes there. But ultimately, I mean, it's still managed by the HOA. There's going to be rules and regulations that still will be in place if Disney does decide to leave, whether it's for the community itself or for the clubhouse and whatnot, restaurant, things that Disney will be managing and overseeing. Other things to consider is that I think I mentioned earlier, these activities, specifically for Cotino, they're an additional voluntary membership as well, too. It's not included within your HOA or anything like that. HOA includes like landscaping, common area maintenance, your dog parks, and things like that. But with a lot of these activities, the Crystal Lagoon, the fitness center, restaurant, whatnot, it's also an additional cost. So that's something to consider if people are looking to move into Cotino in particular, because it's not included. But it's definitely an experience that you don't get anywhere else in the desert. I mean, Crystal Lagoon's fresh water, and you get to do all these water activities.
Is
And
it
then
open to the public? You know, if we go to Palm Springs to visit, can we like go to Cotino and see it?
yeah, so so there is the town center, which is accessible to the public. There will be restaurants, amenity, activities. What is it? Shops within
Or
that
it's
town
like a
center
small
area.
Disney Springs kind of thing.
Yeah, like Disney
Yeah.
Springs, yeah. So where you can go shopping and eating and whatnot and spend the day there. There will be a public beach as well too, where you can get day passes, but a lot of it will be private beaches and whatnot. But there will be public access, which will be nice. And there's like a trail that you can walk around the entire lagoon as well too for residents in particular. So there's definitely things to do for the public.
How did this become your specialty? You know, what was it about the Disney properties that you kind of honed in on this?
Yeah, I think Disney's has always been super fascinating to me in just their ability to turn something that seems fantastical and magical and turn it into reality, right? With their theme parks and whatnot. And getting to work for Walt Disney Imagineering for a short period of time and Shanghai Disneyland, it was always very cool to see the behind the scenes stuff. And that sort of led me into like discovering more about the history of Disney as well as their ventures into real estate. And now with Cotino and their story Living by Disney, and something I've been following very closely, just because there's a lot of things that they do that are very, very special that no other builders do or think about. And yeah, and that's what attracted me and got me so interested in Disney, I guess, real estate. Yeah,
Well, I feel like they're being Disney. I feel like they're being guided by Walt Disney's original vision of that kind of community. So I feel like they have like a North Star to follow
Yeah.
for sure.
that's making them stand out and be unique in this space.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that. Part of the reason why they decided to do Palm Springs, not just because there's a lot of new development, a lot of people moving to Palm Springs over the last few years. Part of it's also because of Walt Disney's history. within Palm Springs. Walt Disney had a residence in Palm Springs and Smoke Tree Ranch, and that's sort of the, I guess, backstory or like reason for them to explore Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley for one of their first residences because of the ties to Disney. And I guess they also had a documentary, The Living Desert. So there's a lot of different hints of Disney that were inspirations that Disney takes from for these communities. So it'll be interesting to see their next one, Asteria in Raleigh, North Carolina, and what inspiration they take from and what amenities.
I heard that they're going to open a park in Abu Dhabi.
I know, right? That'll be interesting. They just announced that last week. So it seems like it's going to be like no other park with a next generation castle and things like that. So it'll be
I don't
interesting.
know if they're going to be doing gay days out there. So
But they are here at Disneyland.
Yeah.
what would you say to somebody who's, contacting you and saying like, hey, I live on the East Coast and I'd like to move into a Disney managed property. Help me figure that out.
I would say come out, visit the community first, because it's all about the area neighborhood that you're living in. And let's see if these Story Living by Disney communities will be perfect for you, because there's a lot of things that they offer. But definitely let's get to know the area, see if it's a good fit for what you're looking for, if Palm Springs is where you want to live, and see what Cotino has to offer in terms of their residences, and see what fits what you're looking for, and check out the models as well too, because their models are
How would you compare price points for something like in these Disney managed properties as opposed to like, I want to just get my own single family in the Palm Springs area?
So definitely it's at a premium, just because Disney does target more of a luxury lifestyle and home. They're working with 3 of the top builders in the luxury real estate space. So what is it? Davidson, Shea Homes, and Woodbridge Pacific. So they do a lot of the luxury homes. So it's definitely going to be at a premium. There are things that will also be an additional cost to the home prices. I think for Cotino, they're anywhere from 2,200 square feet to their estate homes. Their largest estate homes are like 4,000 square feet, and they're beautiful. It's going to start from I think the high ones for their 55 and up long table acre homes. And then for the multi-generation starts from about mid twos. So it definitely is going to come at a premium, but you do have a lot that is offered with that. And also I think yards are going to be additional as well too. So there's a lot of different things price point wise to think about, but also different options.
I was looking at some of the models on the website, and the ones by Davidson look really nice. I like them. They're very like mid-century modern. I mean, like most of them are, but there's something about that one, the all like glass facade, that looks really nice.
Yeah. And I think the other thing to think about is also Disney's taking inspiration from the communities that you're in or that they're in for the inspiration of the homes that they're building. So because Cotino is located in the Coachella Valley, where mid-century modern is a very big thing, a lot of the homes are going to be more mid-century modern, a desert. The color palettes well too, and some of the finishes on the exteriors will also be a little bit more neutral, and that desert palette as well too. So that's also some of the considerations that Disney's looking at, and providing some direction with the builders on, in terms of the architecture, to stay true to the local community and make sure that it's not just like a Disney house, for example. Yeah. So, yeah.
Where are they going to go from here? Are they going to like finally do the Tomorrowland that they always dreamed of, or are they going to stick with like just a suburban community? Like,
I mean, it'll be interesting. I think Cotino's the real test of their first story, Living by Disney, and see how that goes in terms of the future. I mean, I would love for them to build an Epcot like futuristic city. Maybe they'll do something similar in Abu Dhabi, since I think it would fit um that whole area and that vibe. So, I mean, I would love to see that, them building a futuristic city with that Walt Disney envisioned for Epcot. But I think right now, the thing that makes sense is going to be residential. And for them to bet big into residential means a lot, because they're not going to be going into something that um, is that people don't want. So I think they're going to be going after more residential that people are looking for.
This has been great, Andrew. And I thought we would maybe kind of come near the end of our little podcast with a few fun questions. So my first question for you is, what's your favorite Disney movie?
My favorite Disney movie would be Toy Story. And part of that is because it was one of their ventures with Pixar and just started the CGI like movie. It really pioneered CGI movies, animated movies, and
Princesses or villains?
that's a tough one. I would say villains, just because there's that mysterious dark side of them.
Who's your favorite villain?
It would be Maleficent because she can turn into dragon.
She's
And
sick.
she breathes fire. So
Last question. Favorite theme park, a Disney theme park that you've been to around the world?
Tokyo Disney
And then,
Sea.
wait, what?
Tokyo Disney Sea, without a doubt.
And now regular theme park that's not Disney.
Regular theme park that's not Disney. I would say Knott's Berry Farm's a charming one. Part of it, it's because it's so historic and there's different elements to it. And Disney also took inspiration from Knott's Berry Farm, and it's close by too. So they have a really good Boys Berry festival every year.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Very cool. Well, thank you, Andrew. You're the best. We love you.
Love you too.
Do you want to tell our listeners where they can find you, follow you, get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'm on socials at Andrew Lin Holmes, I think on TikTok, Instagram, so you can find me there and see all my Disney things. I'm at Disneyland like once every other week, sometimes more often. But you can find me there. I guess also if you email, call, beat me. What is it? Call me, beat me if you want to reach me, like Kim Possible.
If you want to page me, it's okay.
Yeah. So find me on socials.